Good morning and welcome to the Breaking Burnout for Nurses podcast. I'm so glad that you're here today because today my guest is Arin Anello. Actually, she has been my guest before. So today she's going to be telling us about her being a legal nurse observer besides her other job of being a mom of 4 kids and also being a TikTok personality. Welcome, Erin. Now, first of all, for people who didn't see
Hello.
your show last time, you just give us a little background again about your nursing experience.
I have been a nurse for a little over 16 years. I have done med surge, I have done recovery room, I have done pre-op, pre-assessment, telemetry. I think I've done a little bit of everything. Now I'm on a inpatient orthopedic where I am the charge nurse on that floor.
So, to me, doing the TikTok and selling products online and everything, I mean, because you have the personality, vivacious, and you could think of what to say to sell your product. But for me, it's stressful, and here I am trying to promote, preventing nurse burnout, and here you are taking on more and more things. So I have to commend you for you're just so ambitious, and you've got a lot of goals that you reach, and even more than you would expect. So you always have something going on.
I sure do.
Uh,
Well, yeah. Having 4 kids
okay.
is expensive, so yeah.
Okay, so then your second TikTok channel, what is that about?
It's just me trying to do more of this TikTok shop, but I want to tailor that more to just women's products instead
Okay.
of anything and everything. Yeah.
Okay,
So
and so what is the name of that channel for people who want to
that
follow you
is
on TikTok?
at Arin Marie, ArinMarie.
Okay, perfect. So that
Yeah.
one, that channel is growing also. So we're going to be
Yes.
following you on that, Erin.
I would love
But
it.
anyway, getting back to why I have you on here today, legal nurse observer. I don't even know what that is. So I didn't hear about it until you told me that's what you're doing now. So first, tell me how you even learned about that, legal nurse observer.
I learned about it from another coworker of ours that was doing it, that had just gotten into it, and she had learned about it from one of her friends that was doing it full time. So it just sounded interesting to me, something that I could do on the side again. So she said that they were hiring. I reached out. I had a little phone interview and got right to it. So it's basically law firms. If you're in a legal case about maybe like with a car accident or slip and fall or something where you have personally been injured and you're trying to, sue whoever, the defense team that is against the person wants to have a medical exam done by a defense doctor, an independent doctor, to try to see what your injuries actually are, kind of try to minimize your injuries, try to get some things out of you they're not supposed to be, try to get some extra information. So what law firms started to do was hire registered nurses to go with their clients to ensure that the doctor was not doing exams that are on body parts that are not part of the injury, asking questions that they're not supposed to, trying to get information out of them that does not pertain to the case at all. So that's what I do on the side, and it's super fun. Yeah.
Okay, so for somebody who's interested in getting that type of job, where do they go to look for that job?
I mean, I'm
I
sure
mean,
you could.
because you kind of got it by word of mouth, but
Yes, yeah. I think a
yeah.
lot of it's word of mouth. You can go on, make a profile on, LinkedIn or, Google it, legal nurse observer. You do have to have quite a years of experience as a nurse so that you can know, it's a lot of injuries. So you need to know what type specific tests they're doing when they're doing them. So you know what they're looking for to know if they're positive or negative. You need to know a lot of different mechanical movement, range of motion movements, strength exercises, stuff like that, so that you know exactly what the doctor's doing. So
Okay.
you go with with them, the exams themselves are about an hour. They do a history exam, which is it needs to be limited to just that injury, but sometimes the doctors try to get, other information out of them. And then they do a physical portion of the exam where they test all of the injuries and stuff like that. So you have to you have to obviously know what they're doing, and then you have to be able to tell the doctor no. And doctors do not like to be told no. You have to be assertive to say, I'm sorry, you're not allowed to ask that, you're not allowed to do that, you're not, and it's just, you have to have a experience so that you can be confident when you're telling the doctor.
Tell me from the very beginning of when the attorney contacts you, what exactly are they saying to you, and getting your assignment
I
and
don't
everything
directly, I work within a consulting company. So the consulting company asks me if I'm available on a certain day at a certain time. And then if I am, they send me over the information of what doctor's office to go to. And then I call the client myself and prep them for that exam, find out what happened and tell them what to expect and what not to answer, what to answer. And then we meet at the doctor's office. And again, it's about an hour exam normally.
Mm-hmm.
And then I write a report on what happened, and I audio record the entire exam as well. So it's all on audio for the lawyers.
Okay. Wow. Okay. So you keep those records for yourself and then also submit them to the attorney and then they
Yes.
can use that for
Court or
I
whatever
guess.
they need to for a settlement. Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So tell me some pros and cons about that job as far as you're concerned.
Well, I mean, the pros, it's only about a couple hours of my time. I've gotten the reports down, so I can write out a report like in 30 minutes. So that's amazing. The exam is an hour. I can choose how far I want to go. So normally I just stick within like a 15 to 20 mile radius of my house. So the entire thing is maybe at the very, very most 3 hours of my time. And that's a lot of time, normally 2 hours, and it pays fairly well. So, and I like doing it. It's fun. Cons, there are doctors out there that are not nice. They're egotistical, arrogant. They don't want to be told what to do. They think that they know the law. I had one, my first one that I had to actually stop the exam and end it because he was being so incredibly derogatory to the client. I couldn't let it go further.
Oh, wow.
And that was within the first 15 minutes of the exam. And
Oh,
that's
my.
the first time I've ever actually had to stop an exam because he was being so horrible to the client. It was just, I couldn't. So,
Well,
and
that's
if
why
that happens,
you're
that's,
there.
yeah. So,
Wow.
but
Okay.
it's
Well,
sad to
that's
me that a lot of people don't have somebody to stop the exam for them, and they have to go through that to try to, you know, help them. And it's not, so
oh my
I like it.
gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that gets you all fired up to protect that client, right? Or
Yeah.
protect yeah. Wow. Ooh, now you got me all riled up there.
Yeah, no, that was it was shocking. So,
Yeah.
yeah, so I've been doing this now for 2 years, and that's the only one I've actually had to end. I've had other
Yeah.
ones that doctors are extremely rude, but I can usually get it to where let's just get through this and
Yeah.
that. But
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
it was horrible. Absolutely horrible.
Well, that's why they have this job for you, right? That's
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
that's where you really feel like, okay, this is why I'm here.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, beautiful. Again, you get this job through an agency, and is it like a nursing registry agency, and they know that
No,
you
it's
do
a
this.
consulting company. I'm employed by them as an
Okay.
independent contractor. This is all they do. They have law firms that reach out to them to say, I need a legal nurse observer for this day at this time with this doctor. And then
Okay.
they have, a certain amount of nurses that they reach out to see if you're available. And if
Mhm.
you're not, they just go to the next nurse to try to find one. Normally I do at least 1 to 2 a week. Sometimes I have like 6 a week, which is like the next week I have 3 with the same doctor back to back to back. So that's kind of nice, because just get
Mhm.
3 out of the way. And
Mhm.
same doctor, and the doctors really do the exact same thing every time. So if you work with the same doctor over and over, you know their routine, you know how long it's going to be, you know what they,
Mhm.
their personalities, and it makes it much easier once you start to see the same things over and over.
Yes, and I guess they'll like seeing you there because they've worked with you
Well, no,
before and they know.
I'm not on their side. I'm on the plaintiff side. They're on the defense side. But there
Ah, I
are doctors
see.
that I work with that are just so nice, and just, they know that this is just they're being hired too. So they know this is just what has to be done. And,
Mhm.
yeah, and they know the rules. They don't ask questions. It's amazing when I do those ones. Some of the
Yay.
hard ones, it's like,
Me, it sounds like mostly pros because you get to choose whether or not you want to take a case or not, or an assignment, and it's your hours that you pick whether you want to do it. So to me, that sounds good, and then you get paid fairly well. I guess, can you tell me the amount or no?
I
Is
mean,
there like a range?
yeah. So, I mean, it's like, it's a few $100s up to, the most I've been paid for one is $1,000 for one case. So,
Uh-huh. Oh,
but
okay, that
yeah,
sounds really good.
yeah. But I mean, if you're willing to drive further, the furthest I've driven for one is 4.5 hours. Obviously, I got paid more for that one.
Okay.
They have different ones that are all day exams. You get paid more for those ones.
Hmm. All right. So that's you're like an independent contractor, is
99, yeah,
1099.
1099,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, okay. So everybody out there, this is an alternative nursing option for you. So maybe you can see a different thing that you can do if you're
Yeah, being a
looking for
nurse, you can do
something.
lots of different things. So,
All right. Okay. Well, I just appreciate you being on my show again. I'm going to ask you to be on my show again.
I'm sure you will.
But anyway, thanks, Erin, for
No
sharing all
problem.
your information. A lot of new stuff. I didn't know anything about this nurse observer. So thank you
Yeah,
for being on my show.
of
And
course.
so everybody, come back to my show next Monday at 10 a.m. And you could follow me on www.breakingburnout.com. If you want to be a guest on my show and share some of your nurse burnout issues and solutions, go to my website and click on the podcast tab, and you can sign up to be a guest on my show. Thanks again for being here, and we'll see you next Monday.
Okay,
Bye.
bye.
Thank you, Erin.
You're welcome.